So you want a long-lasting glowy base, you are going to have to trust me. Some of this is going to sound outlandish. All I have on my face right now is a little bit of an eye serum. Just use your eye serum. I have on an essence, okay? I didn't even use a serum. Because if we're doing this in the summer, if we're doing this even in the spring where I live, it's already 90 and 80% humidity. So I'm just using this. And then of course, I have on my SPF. This is my favorite. I feel like SPF is something that sabotages all of us, so I do want you to keep that in mind. I would highly recommend skipping moisturizer and just using your SPF as your moisturizer. Now, I'm even balanced to dry, borderline dry, so I know that sounds so spooky. Just give it a try, but we don't skip the SPF. I told you, you're gonna have to trust me. I'm going to take a luminous powder. I don't want you to feel like you have to go get this one. This is the new formula of the loose, the one that's very, very, very shiny. But I love using it this way. And what we're doing here is we're setting our skincare. And I know YouTube many moons ago taught us that powder underneath any type of foundation is just evil. It's wrong. It's just too much, but it's not. And I'm using a fluffy brush because I don't want to apply this with a puff. I don't need a ton of it. But this is not only setting that skincare, but essentially it's just going to help everything last longer, and it's already giving more luminosity to the skin. And if you were to touch my face right now, it still feels like skincare. It's just not transferring over to my fingers anymore in terms of the texture. So I just don't want you to be afraid of that. That has been something makeup artists, I did not invent that. Also didn't invent color theory, never claimed to. But this is even something artists have done for many years. Now, whenever I'm wanting to do a more luminous base, I know I'm going to be wearing less coverage, because when we get into the more full coverage, generally they are more matte. So to make things super, super even with less makeup, which is what correcting does, I'm going to start to correct certain areas of my face. I'm starting with the redness on my cheeks, so I use green. Love this. Then I'll use the C41 again, because I'm covering a larger area like my cheek. You'll see me use a smaller brush for this one, which is going to go underneath my eyes, because I'm really just correcting what needs corrected. I don't want to take the green underneath my eye. That would just be sabotage. Now I might take this a little around my nose. My nose tends to get a little bit red, but now we already don't need as much foundation. Now let's do my under eye. We're still going to use foundation and concealer, but you'll see I'm going to use so much less. Now I'm going to take this and I switch to the smaller brush because remember, I'm just wanting to correct. I noticed some blue in here the other day. I said, what even is this? But we'll just correct it. This is one of my favorite correctors in terms of under eye, just kind of a casual corrector, if you will, not the heavy duty shifters and shapers like the blues and the purples and all that fun stuff. This has a great selection of colors for kind of easy everyday correcting. This is one of my favorite things to do. If you already have a long wear foundation, you are going to take down the wear time a little bit by mixing an essence in, but it's still going to have a better wear time than most skin tints, and then we already had it in our collection. So that's one of my favorite things to do. So I have it here on a mixing plate, and then I have a makeup spatula, and then I love this. I love it. I love the way that it mixes. I could still get, especially with this underpaint situation, like 7 to 8 hours of wear time out of this. But I want to be for real. If we're doing any type of skin tint and we're doing any kind of less coverage, it's not going to be a 24-hour wear time. And I hope you're okay with that, because I'm okay with that. But it could definitely handle a touch up. So I'm just going to do about that much, just a couple drops. And when I say wear time, I'm thinking of a very rigorous wear time without touch-ups, but if you're okay with a touch-up, this lasts definitely 12 hours. So I don't want to scare you, but I also am very realistic. But try that powder situation. Okay. Outdoor beige is outdoor beiging. Cool, I didn't have to correct that. So I'm also going to switch brushes. So normally you'll see me use the C42, but this is going to give us so much more coverage, even with a skin tint or your classic skin tint that you love. But when I'm wanting kind of just a luminous glaze, I'm going to reach for my C41 here, because it's not as dense, it's more fluffy. So the fluffier the brush, the more diffused the application. I also wish that you could feel the way that my skin feels right now. It feels like I'm putting skincare on. And I also put way too much out just because I'm yapping, and here I have this. And I'm not thinking about it, but I'm not going to use anywhere near as much as I have here. So that is also something to keep in mind. You probably won't need as much as I just put out. And one more tip, when you are doing something like what we're doing here today, this is why I'm always looking for things that are super thin, but super, super pigmented. It just works better on the skin. You'll see that I don't reach for a lot of cream foundations. I like liquids. I like super thin and pigmented. So one thing I've noticed, this is not always for sure, but if a concealer is glazed like this, kind of this frosted situation, it's generally matte, and that's not what we're wanting for this. So I'm going to reach for my Natasha Denona. I love this match. I feel like this match is just perfect for me. So I'm going to start with a small amount because whenever we correct first, we generally don't need as much. So I'm just going to start there. And I'm still going to use a more dense brush because whenever we're using a dense brush, it's because we're wanting more coverage in a certain area. So I feel a little bit more comfortable with more coverage underneath my eye. Melty, melty. And then I want you to kind of just place this wherever you think that you might want more coverage. I did a very light glaze of our mixture here, so I don't have quite as much on, so don't be afraid at this point to add more. This is gonna feel wrong, but I promise you it's so right. I'm gonna go ahead while everything is unset, and I'm gonna set with the bronzer. And I feel like this just helps not only with wear time, but it makes everything a little bit more true to color. Sometimes when we try to put powders, and also I'm doing kind of a preset essentially, but when we try to put powders on top of set makeup, especially something this luminous and dewy, what can happen is it just gets really, really dull and flat. So don't be afraid to, notice I'm going very lightly and building, but don't be afraid to go right on top of the wet makeup. I find that I just get a really, really even blend when I do this, and I'm just warming up my nose a little bit. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I'll do the same with the blush. This is one of my favorite blushes right now. This is Culver Crush. So I was finding that when I was trying to just layer a bunch of creams on top of creams, because when we think luminous, I know most of us maybe not. I never want to assume we know what that does. But for me, whenever I would think super luminous, I would think, oh, I only need to use the shiniest of shine. But the difference here is kind of using that long wear foundation, mixing it with the essence to give it a little bit more of a glow, and then that powder underneath. We're still going to use powder on top, but these steps, instead of just putting a ton of creams on, it's so good. Now I'm still going to use a matte powder. I know, but there is no way at my almost 40-year-old age am I putting this underneath my eyes. It's not going to be good for me. So I would recommend, well, I thought I was ready. Let me grab my brush. All right, I found my brush. So essentially I call this the puff brush. And the reason why it's very flat, so I'm doing this so you can kind of see the motion. I like powder to be pressed in. I find that it just wears better. But obviously, since it's fluffier, it's not going to pick up as much as, say, a puff. I love a puff, but we are wanting to keep this luminous. So we're getting nice and set. And remember, the more that this sits on my skin, the luminosity can even come back. But I'm not putting this super, super shiny on top of shiny, which can really enhance texture. So this is kind of the texture tame, if you will. Don't be afraid of a matte powder. It just depends on the tool you're going to use. Use the puff brush. I'm kidding. Maybe. You can use this through the center. And then if you want, I might do highlighter. But if you wanted to really keep luminosity, I'm not afraid of this if I apply it to kind of higher points away from texture. If you don't have a lot of texture in certain areas, we could definitely set with this, because again, this is going to set but keep with the luminous theme that we're after. Remember, I'm balanced to dry. I don't want you to be afraid to take a puff. The way that a puff lays product is just okay, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So I don't get oily really anywhere, but I'm kind of showing you, if you feel like you might get oily later, press with a puff. That really will make a difference. And we're not going to lose too much of our luminosity because this is going to wear into the skin and become friends with that tint that we have on. But just really get in those areas. And then you could even just take your brush again. I think I have blush on this. I don't want to put blush there. But you can just kind of, I'll just take the tip of it and just push it in a little bit more. Or kind of dust away any excess. But if you feel like you could get oily, just go over those areas with a puff. I just bought this L'Oreal lipstick. This is the shade Ferris Nude. That is so scented. I do not dislike the color. That's nice. Then I'll just do a little bit of Maybelline Wine Leader. This is the Lifter lip liners. I love these, by the way. I think they're one of my favorite lip liners of all time. All right, let's just up our glow. Why not? Love this. I might roll around on the floor in this. Oh, and while you're here, I did do kind of a little mini video for y'all, but I do want to walk you through. If you've ever put on highlighter, yeah, highlighter, no matter what, still in this day and age, it can enhance texture, but I at least want you to know how to pick one out. I have 3 here on my hand. Aren't they all really, really pretty? Love them. Gorgeous, stunning. But look what happens when the light isn't directly on them. This one is leaving that gray cast that I used to have all the time in 2016. Guilty. This one is just too dark, but this one is disappearing the most, and that is the one that I put on. All right, my friends, this is our finished look. We're very luminous, but I wish you could touch this because it feels just like my super matte looks. It's that powder underneath, and it's using that longer foundation to our advantage, but shifting it a little bit. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. This is literally what I do all summer long because I love a matte look, but I actually feel more like myself in the spring and summer with this kind of complexion.